The High Court in Bloemfontein will decide on another application today brought by Gupta associate Iqbal Sharma and others related to the Nulane investment case. This involves a 24.9 million rand feasibility study for a milk processing plant in the Free State several years ago. Earlier, the court dismissed an application for more evidence from the accused. Now it will decide whether to grant an application for a special entry of irregularity. To get you more on this, go live to Bloemfontein. Our reporter there is Govan Whittles. Govan, sum up what the court has been dealing with so far today.
Well, Timbukile, you mentioned the special request for declaring as an irregularity that essentially involves the claim by the defendants that the decision not to grant the application for further evidence relating to the trial, the 24.9 million rand feasibility study, is irregular, and it could render the entire trial, when it goes ahead on the 23rd of January next year, irregular. And that's what Judge Martha Mbele is currently seized with. She's expected to decide on that request after lunch, but earlier she dismissed the application for more evidence related to the case against Iqbal Sharma and others. Also a number of former Free State government officials here from the Department of Agriculture and Rural Development, among them the former HOD Peter Dabete, all in the dock, and so was Sharma. And today they didn't seem surprised when the judge decided to dismiss their application, and in fact appeared to be quite ready to launch this special request for a declaration of irregularity, but wouldn't go into details of what they believed was irregular about the decision. To be fair, the judge also didn't give an entire judgment setting out why she believes the evidence that had been presented to these accused is sufficient for them to prepare for the trial. Needless to say, this relates to the Gupta family and the investigative directorate here, alleging that they've been able to trace the money which was paid by the Free State government to Nulane Investments, which supposedly had special skills to conduct this feasibility study into whether the milk processing plant could be established in Vrede, would be feasible and if it could go ahead. In the end, Nulane Investments paid Deloitte 1.5 million rand to conduct the feasibility study. All they did was change the partner that they believed would be appropriate for the milk processing plant. And the ID says that they traced that money to a number of Gupta entities. This case, of course, being central to the application to extradite the Guptas from the UAE. And according to the defense, they'd like this special request for irregularity to be approved because they believed it would render the trial irregular. But the ID says that they see this as the defense using all their options to delay the trial actually going ahead, seeming confident that the trial wouldn't be declared irregular and that they're on track to get the Gupta brothers extradited from the UAE back to South Africa.
Are we able, Govan, at this stage to gauge the level of patience or interest of the court itself in a further delay in this matter?
Well, we are. The judge in this matter said that she had studied the indictment as well as the accompanying documentation which had been presented to all of the defense in this matter. That includes the documentation which details how the investigative directorate managed to trace some of this money after the 1.5 million rand was paid to Deloitte, and how exactly they've linked it to each of the accused in this case and what the roles were of the accused. And the judge saying that she'll provide further evidence of why she believes that information is adequate at a later stage, but for now, saying she'd made up her mind, she's convinced, based on what she's seen in the indictment and the evidence provided, that it is enough. And then they don't appear to have been caught off guard by the request, the special request for irregularity here. The judge initially intended to deal with that matter in 30 minutes. After a while, she sent out the secretary to inform the court that she'd make a decision at 2, clearly intending to apply her mind a bit more on this special request and its implications. But based on what we heard from the investigative directorate, they're happy that they got that application dismissed, and they see this as a victory and speeding up the extradition application for the Guptas to come back from the UAE. It does look like the investigative directorate believes they've scored a big win here today. and that they've undermined attempts to delay and frustrate it, but they do anticipate more of those tactics ahead of that trial date, which is the 23rd of January. For that, the ID and the NPA says they're quite ready to proceed, and it's clear they want to make an example of this case, which involves charges of fraud and theft and money laundering.
Govan, Whittles in Bloemfontein, thank you. The